We're doing more drawing time lapses today. 6 hours of pen sketching in 6 minutes, just like the last one, but +1. To everybody new here, welcome to all 154 of you. It's wild, I haven't had a video pick up like that last one before. I guess that means I'm not the only one getting bored of the challenge genre on YouTube. Like I said last time, art videos on YouTube tend to fall into one of two main camps. Either A, they're challenge videos, making art with a 1,000-degree knife, etc. Or B, they're very relaxed, slow, calming videos in real time, maybe with a few cuts here and there where someone slowly chips away at a painting or illustration they're doing. Both of those can be a lot of fun, but I think art YouTube kind of needs to shake it up a bit, right? Like, let's get some more art videos out there that aren't fighting for your attention, but also aren't just trying to put you to sleep. But I don't know, if you fall asleep to this, then I guess that's fine too. I'll try not to be too boring, but I make zero promises. Oh, and if it isn't obvious enough, I don't have a script this time, I'm just making it up as I go. Scripting usually takes me hours, so this time I'm trying to speed it up a little by jumping straight onto the mic. So the drawings unfolding on screen are just my typical sketchbook pages that I've recorded with my phone camera and then time-lapsed afterwards in my editing program. I've wanted to do something like this for the longest time because these are the sorts of videos that I really wish existed on YouTube, but I can't seem to find many other people doing stuff like it. I've been putting off doing it for the longest time as well because I didn't really like the look of my art and I didn't want other people to see it, and I also didn't think they'd find it interesting because how could other people find my art interesting if I didn't even find it all that interesting to look at? That's a lot of lack of interest, but I was listening to something that Steven Zapata said earlier today on a podcast that I was listening to, and essentially what he said was that it is a universal artist experience that you put off doing the things that you wish you could do until you are ready, and then that time never comes, you are never ready to do it. Or rather that you are always ready, you just lacked the confidence to take that step to start doing it. Which is super frustrating, right? Because it's not what any of us want to hear. What we want to hear is, oh yeah, once you reach this certain mark, then you will be ready. Then you'll have gotten that check mark, that stamp of approval, and then you can finally start doing the stuff that you really want to do. I think there's just something in being creative that it being so open-ended and full of infinite freedom, we tend to wish for more structure in that sort of way. Oh, wait, one sec. Yeah, okay, so as I was saying, when I first got into art back in 2017, I'd put off working on the animation projects that I dreamed of because animation is the reason I wanted to become an artist in the first place. And then later on, when I was more into it but losing interest in animation, I started to put off doing the comic ideas that I had because that became my new interest. And then moving on from that, I'd put off doing these big world building projects that I had in the back of my mind. Like I had ideas for characters and for cool sceneries and settings that I could build a story out of. But then I never really explored any of those ideas because I kept waiting for when I'd eventually be good enough to do it. For when down the line my skill level would finally be good enough that I could match whatever idea I had in my mind and get it out onto the paper effortlessly and accurately. But it has been a hard-learned lesson that there is no mark that you eventually reach. You just keep pushing it off until later on, further down the line. You always wait until you get better, which is a day that never comes. And ironically, you would reach that imaginary mark faster by doing the things that you want to do anyway, because then everything you're practicing is directly related to the thing you want to get good at. So yeah, take it from me, don't put your dream projects off until later, do them today. Obviously though, that's way easier said than done, because if it was that easy to challenge your fears, then everyone would just do it, and I wouldn't be stuck here talking about it, and you wouldn't be stuck here listening to me talk about it. I would hear people talk about it being fear that holds you back as an artist, and that didn't really make sense to me for quite a while, because whenever I'd hear them say fear, I would think, oh, like anxious? You feel anxious when you go to make art? And that's probably what some people's experience was like, but it definitely wasn't what mine was like, so I never really understood what they meant by that. But more recently, I made the connection that fear in art is about a lot more than just anxiety. And that for me, it was more this feeling of like, what if I try and then it doesn't turn out right? What if I put in all this effort and still it looks really, really bad, even though I tried really hard? So then what that ended up meaning for me was that I would just go and do like figure practice, or I'd go through drawer box again and do perspective exercises, all that sort of thing. All the basic practice stuff to get good at the things that I thought I wanted to do, but then never actually doing those projects themselves. And all the while being completely unaware that, yeah, this is still fear, like this is the same thing at the core at play here. Fast forward to today, yeah, I still don't really know how to get better at this stuff, but I think that when you're aware that that's what's going on, it makes it easier to then take that step to be confident and to like do the thing that you're scared to do. Because once you're aware of what the problem is, you're able to look at it head on and go, well, that's kind of dumb, like why am I letting that control me? I'm gonna go do the thing that I want to do anyway. Like I said, not scripting this one, so maybe the train of thought doesn't make that much sense. So yeah, I'm trying to get better at my confidence with making art, and I've been making little bits of progress with that this year, like with my horn map painting series and that one I did before, the designing my dream game, the Isle of Fish project. And also what you're seeing on screen now, just me sketching with watercolor. That's something new that I've wanted to try doing for ages. And it's been slow progress. Don't make the mistake of thinking that it comes easy for other people. Like, I have a sketchbook tour series at the moment where I'm going through every single piece of paper I've ever drawn on. And so I'm hoping that the lesson people can take from that is just how huge the volume of work is that you have to put in as an artist to get good at not just the technical skills, but also all of the mental ones as well, because those are really where the bigger hurdles are anyway. So that's this week's art compilation. Apparently if I tell you to subscribe now, it makes the button glow all fancy or something. Woo! And I've made other videos, those are probably popping up about now, so bye bye!